This video is about the PHP, and I'll tell you the brief introduction about the PHP. PHP started out a small open source project that evolved as more and more people found out how useful it was. And Erasmus unreleased the first version of PHP way back in 1994. PHP is a recursive acronym for PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP is a server-side scripting language that is embedded in HTML. It is used to manage dynamic content, database, session tracking, even build entire e-commerce website. There are many websites available that are built on the PHP. Yahoo use the PHP. It is integrated with a number of popular databases including MySQL, Postgres, SQL, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, and Microsoft SQL Server as well. PHP is a pleasing CP in execution, especially when compiled as an Apache module on the Unix side. The MySQL server once started execute even very complex query with a huge result set in record setting time. PHP support a large number of major protocols such as POP3, IMAP, LDAP. PHP provides support for Java and distributed object architectures, making entire development and possible for the first time. So recent version is PHP 7. I use the PHP 7 version. PHP is a forgiving PHP language, try to be as well forgiving as possible. PHP syntax is C like syntax. So the basic characteristics is very simple to use: efficiency, security, flexibility, familiarity. Let's talk about the editor about the PHP. I use the editor like as Eclipse, and normal people use Eclipse for Java program, but you can use it for Eclipse PHP also. You just have to install a new software over here. This is provided that support. These are the supported software for Eclipse. If you don't find the PHP over here, you can add by external force. Here there's a name. You can name like PHP or something else, and you just have to provide the link of the PHP software. So I have the PHP. This is the Java version. This is PHP version. Let's try to PHP project. New project. Let's make one simple project. Just try. As I use the XAMPP Apache, so I have to externally give the path for that one so that it can run over that. Yes, just try one and finish. Yeah, there's a file. So make a new file. This is a PHP file. As I told you that it supports the HTML frame set also, and if you want to write a simple PHP file, you can simple and like HTML. Yeah. So here I use Eclipse because it's a provide the search and all this thing echo string directly. Just provide your string over here.
Hey, what's up everyone? So my topic today is going to be arrays in PHP, which is rather simpler. So let's just dive into it. Alright, so if you have any programming experience, well, array, you might be knowing what it is, right? So array is basically just a special variable which can hold more than one values. So if you haven't done any programming in your life, let me just explain what an array is and how you can use it. Well, so array is like this variable where you can store multiple values and you can access those values with the index, say 0, 1, or 2. And say you have all, so how to define an array is like this: dollar sign and then the name, and then you can put all the values inside the array keyword, and then here are all the values that you need in your array, and you can access them again with the indexes. But now this is a small array. Say if you have a big array with about 100 elements, then there's no way you can write each index like this, right? Well, and we all know that you can do it through a loop, but a loop needs a condition where to stop. Like, we need to find out the number of elements in the array, which we can do using the count. Well, the count method is very simple. All you have to do is just write the count keyword and then insert the name of that array in that keyword, and then it will give you the number of elements in that array. So say now if you have an element which is about 100 elements, then it will give you 100 in that. So simply you can use it using a for loop, which is just like this. So you can store the count of that inside a variable called array length, and then you can just input the array length in a normal for loop, and you can refer it through the index just like this. So well, this is a very simple way of going through all the elements of an array, but PHP even simplifies it further. So if you want not to write, like, you don't want to count the number of elements in an array and everything, all you have to do is just use a for each loop. And as you can see, this is much more simpler and cleaner than a simple for loop. So all you have to do is write the for each loop, the for each keyword, sorry, and then the name of the array, and as is a keyword, and then dollar value. You can use this dollar value here, and then it will print out all the values that are in the array. So it can be clearly seen that it is much more simpler and cleaner than using a simple for loop. And well, let's just briefly go over associative arrays, which are like a key value pair. So here, Peter is the key and 35 is the value. So if you want to access the value using the key, you can simply do $age and then Peter, and it will give you Peter is 35 years old. Now, if you had written instead of Peter, if you have written Ben, it would show here 37. And well, that's how simple it is. So thank you for watching, and now on to the next part.
Everyone. Today we're going to talk about the basic syntax and workings of PHP. So, first of all, to initialize a PHP file, we write a less than arrow, a question mark, a PHP, and then to end it, we write a question mark and a greater than arrow. So, now if we want to comment a line, we use double forward slash for a single line, and then if we want to comment multiple lines, we use the forward slash star, then star, and then the forward slash again. Next, if we want to declare a variable, we do it using the dollar sign. So for an integer, we just simply write $a equals integer, and for a string, we write the string name into the inverted commas. Now we have to remember that it is case sensitive, so all the variables are not same if we write capital STR or if S is capital, they are not the same. Then we try to print a message which includes hello, the string hello. We can do it using echo, which is a built-in function for PHP, or use print. The use for variables is that we don't have to write hello each and every time. We can just call the variable. Now, there's something called an include function in PHP, which basically calls any file from the desktop or the computer. So what we have to do is we write include and then in bracket the file name as it is shown here into the inverted commas. So what we have to remember here is that the file that we are calling does not need to have any sort of syntax of PHP or any other file. Like for example, if we are using so here this is an example file. This is the included text is written in that file. As you can see, there is no syntax in this file, and we can use this in the include function directly, and it will interpret it just like a PHP file. Secondly, we can use HTML in PHP. So for that, we can use all the built-in functions of HTML in just the inverted commas. And yeah, so for using that, we initialize an HTML file into the PHP file, and then show the syntax for the PHP in between those tags. Thank you.
Hello, this will be about RESTful APIs programmed in PHP, which send data in JSON format. So, JSON format basically consists of JSON objects and JSON arrays, and this is how data is sent from client to server or server to client. So, a JSON array is anything which is within
square braces. So anything between square braces is a JSON array. In this example, which is a Google API, which takes San Jose State as a parameter, uh, the whole results section is an array. The address components and the address components is a JSON object. So this is how data is sent as key and value pair in a JSON file. So each object is separated by a comma, and the key name and the value name, they are separated by a colon, and everything is a string type in this JSON. So any PHP object or any data structure that PHP supports, like arrays, maps, etc., can be converted into a JSON representation. And for that, PHP provides a very simple command, that is JSON underscore encode, which takes the data structure as a parameter and returns the JSON representation of that. So whenever any HTTP connection is established between the client and the server where these APIs are hosted, they they communicate first through HTTP, and then the server will send JSON. So depending on what language is used on client side, be it PHP, JavaScript, or Java, you can iterate through whole JSON to extract the information from it, and this is how information is shared. JSON is an improved version of XML, and hence JSON is widely used as compared to XML.
Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about security in PHP. PHP is a very powerful language in interpreters, whether included web server as a module or executed at a separate TCI library binary. And also the PHP is very powerful on the exec cell line. It's able to accept file, execute command, and open network connection on the server. But this probably make anything run on the web server insecure by default. That is the concern. PHP is designed to specifically to be more secure language for writing CGI, which is user interface program, then per and or C. With this correct selection of compile time and runtime configuration option and proper coding practice, it can give you exactly the combination of freedom of security and you need. PHP can be used to build complete server application. So there you go. PHP is a very powerful language with all the power of the cell user. If you are a cell user, then you don't need to worry about that. Or it can be used to simple server side, include a little risk in tiny control environment. So today I'm gonna show you some common things that it help you to make your application more secure. Um, a complete secure system is virtually impossible. So an approach often used in a security profession is one of the balancing risk at usability. If every Imagine if every variable submitted by user required to form biometric variation, you would have extremely high level to make your website more secure. So someone would quickly access your page and possible get logged in if your website you don't have a kind of tie for security login. Let's say when you look at this example, when you log in with a section,
you see the section ID gonna post in. There's some insecurity things happen here. And a good approach always be to login screen immediate spot a login force a new section ID generated by random number instead of some fixed number like this. So let's say this is a sample code, a section start. You see, a new section. You get a random numbers, and then you store that ID. So to see with this function, it can reduce the chain when you expose your constant ID. So So another thing you need to concern is about IP. It's always good to ensure every valid section is checked again an IP. Um, One good method is to store the section IP and remote IP information in a stable. A better store IP at a section variable itself. Once the user log into a secure, this is combined and remain page for security. This of course won't work when users use same office or share network as an IP to outside the world. It's the same, it's different. So you can't. It's gonna validate the IP. So and another thing about I want to share with you is about the file. In the file, quick go through the bits. You know, So with them some file, you see that when you transfer some file system file, you see this example, like user you post a user submitted name, and they'll come with the risk. See the user and the file are possible from the user form that can be submit user and file belong to someone else, so you can uh, do on purpose or accidentally delete some other file. That's make it less security. So another thing is how about remove the file from anywhere that hardware share in the server. So look at this code. You see that all the user information, the user file, the password, the home address, something like that, and the unlink. When you unlink it, you accidentally delete the file in the, the hard drive, which is sometimes is not supposed to delete it. It should have some kind of writing protection. There are two important measures you should take to prevent these issues. Only allow limit permission to the PHP web server binary or check all variables which are submitted.
Everybody, my name is Fa. Today I want to introduce cookie to you. So what is cookie and how do we use cookie? So first, cookie doesn't have to be an important part of a website, but it can provide some other little thing that make your website apart from the other website. Cookies are just the small information that you save on the client computer so that you can access them the next time they visit the website. The most popular use of cookie are to store username password information, so the visitor doesn't have to log in every time they visit the website, or just simply remember the username, or to keep track of user project during a specified project. So how do we use a cookie? In order to show you guys how we do it, I will take you to my website and then my code. So first, we go to the service section of my website. So because my website is a travel agency, so it have a lot of tour to provide to the customer. And at the end of the session, you can see that we have two links: the last 5 repeatedly visited tour and the most visited tour. So in order to get the last 5 repeatedly visited tour and the most visited tour, we need to use the cookie. I will go into one of the tour to show you how I set the cookie. So in order to set the cookie, we need the key, the value, and then the time of the cookie. Because we need the last 5 various tour and then also the most visited tour. So we need the two cookie. The first one is the history cookie, and the second one is the most visit cookie. So we need to create a value, and I choose the tour name for the value of the cookie, and then I set the cookie using the key, the value, and then the time. After I set the cookie, and we can use the cookie to get the 5 various visit and then the most visit. So this is my last 5 regularly visited store. Using the cookie, I can keep track of my regularly visited tour, and then my most visited tour right here. I also ring the video, the number of video that the user had visit the tour. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to introduce to you.